While the observance has its roots in the Civil War, as mothers and wives in the North and South decorated the graves, Memorial Day is about reconciliation and remembering. Retired Air Force Colonel Jeff Davison gave the call to mourning.
It's our duty to remember and respect our fallen comrades.
The Air Force was the branch of military singled out for special honor this year.
We're proud of that. We're proud of our Air Force, but it takes us all.
Lieutenant General Philip Ford says patriotism is becoming harder to find.
We have our people in our nation don't understand what this is all about.
I was at a funeral last week of a young man who gave his life to save his comrades. We in America have no idea the price that's paid, but at least once a year we can stop and remember.
Mary Duty heads up the Heart of Texas chapter of Blue Star Mothers. She says it's okay if people enjoy the holiday with cookouts in the lake, but folks need to remember why we have the freedoms we enjoy.
We have no idea what we have in this country in many ways, and the people that lay down their lives to preserve it need to be honored each and every day.
It was a major manhunt earlier today along I-35 south of Waco, but it has come to an end. 3 women and 2 men are now being questioned by immigration officials. The incident began earlier today when a DPS trooper stopped a Dodge pickup truck for speeding on I-35 just south of Waco in Lorena.
The trooper got out, walked up to the vehicle, and the vehicle sped off. The trooper ran back to his car, the vehicle took this exit, and the vehicle sped to a stop here, and about 8 to 9 to 10 subjects bailed out of the vehicle and ran on foot.
At least 5 others are still at large, but they are not believed to be dangerous. Still, people living south of Waco near Lorena are being advised to lock their doors.
It's another day and another lunch at the Lomita Senior Center.
I don't care, as long as it's not fish.
Turns out turkey is on the menu today, but Juanita McElhaney and Jean Campus just call the meal a blessing.
I'm on a very limited income, and it's important to me to find some place that I can eat reasonably.
Without today's lunch, some of their friends would go hungry.
Mr. Bill, for instance, this is the only meal he eats during the day. If he wasn't eating here, he wouldn't eat anything till supper time.
This summer, short $47,000 federal dollars, Hill Country Community Action Association had to turn new seniors away from their programs. They even had to shut down some locations.
We've been providing meals here since the late 70s, early 80s. And we've come to a point in our funding that we can no longer provide the meal program here in Lomita.
The tight-knit community was shocked the doors were closing.
Well, I was heartbroken because, you know, I depend on it, you know, but that didn't last long.
That's because the city's now pitching in to pay the utility bills.
It made perfect sense. The city owns this building.
And the county's trying to supplement their $2,500 annual contribution.
A lot of these people are single now. Their spouses have passed away. They're alone. They're by themselves. This is important to take care of them.
Local restaurants, churches, and residents will cook all this year's lunches, enough for about 11 people at the center and 5 home-delivered Meals on Wheels.
I'm so proud of this community and proud of everybody stepping up to do that when we weren't able to do so.
The service is more than just food. It's an opportunity for activities, conversation, even health checks.
It's just a good place to be, and I'm glad it's staying open.
News Channel 25 at 6.
Prosecutors rested their case of the capital murder trial of Ricky Cummings. He's accused of the ambush attack that killed Taya Sneed and Keenan Hubert at Waco's Lakewood Villa Apartments in March of last year.
News Channel 25's Christine McCarthy was in the courtroom and heard some incriminating evidence. Now, Christine, today was a big day.
Today, the state's witnesses explained some incriminating text messages and conversations involving Ricky Cummings. One of those witnesses actually placing Ricky Cummings near the scene of the murders just minutes before gunfire erupted. Now, today started out much the same as how yesterday ended, with the defense arguing to keep some text messages out of court, and the state did agree to delete some. Returning witness Detective James Owens analyzed cell phones he said belonged to Ricky and his brother DeArvis Cummings. One phone subscriber called himself Bloody Nickel. Owen said that was Ricky Cummings, and he listed DeArvis in his contacts as right-hand man. DeArvis also faces a capital murder charge. The state showed texts from Ricky to contact Ms. Blood after the murder saying, "Take them bullets out the house." A reply text says, "You late, did that last night." Those texts were deleted, but Metro PCS records custodian Kenneth Lissane said a data center stores them for 60 days. Now, a teenage witness also testified. He said Ricky Cummings was at the Lakewood Villas saying he was going to shoot someone, then received a call, left, and gunfire erupted 20 minutes later. Another witness, Chantal Hart, said the day of the murders, her cousin called her over to what she thought was Ricky Cummings' maroon Impala. Hart took a picture of her cousin holding a huge gun that was in the back seat. Prosecutors showed that picture, and they maintained an AK-47 was one murder weapon, but Hart said Ricky Cummings wasn't in the car. Now, other contacts in Ricky Cummings' cell phone include Praco Gun and Pawn Shop in Waco. Another contact is actually Albert Love. You'll remember Love is also being charged with capital murder for the double murder. Now, the defense testimony will start up at 8:30 on Tuesday morning. Of course, we'll be here live in Waco. Christine McCarthy, News Channel 25.
This is your First Alert weather.
Home is so close, yet so far away.
I live right there. I just want to go right there.
Mounds of dirt and signs that read closed now block the easiest entrance to Robinson's Surrey Ridge subdivision. Meg Hoffner and her neighbors use that private road because you can get to it so easily off the interstate.
No warnings or anything, no signs, just you can't go this way anymore.
Worked beautifully until a few months ago. We had a big rain up above and it washed out some of the bridge.
Developer Eddie Gummelt built that road and a bridge to go over a crossing creek. The city forced him to close it down for safety reasons.
It takes 10 or 15 minutes to go around, and you got an emergency. You could have come across there an emergency in 3 or 4 minutes.
Gummelt has driven that route countless times. He lives in the subdivision himself, and for him, there's a quick fix.
There is a solution if the city of Robinson will grant a variance to put in a county bridge. It can be solved in 15 minutes.
Robinson City Manager Bob Cervenka was not available for an interview, but he told us the city would only approve a TxDOT-style concrete bridge. Gummelt says that kind of bridge would cost $350,000.
I am not going to build a TxDOT designed bridge across the creek.
So for now, residents like Meg Hoffner will just have to put it on their wish list.
It would be a very nice to have. You know, not just a nice to have, it'd be a very nice to have.
In Robinson, Noel Brennan, News Channel 25.